You're exhausted, aren't you? Running on fumes while the world screams at you to do more, be more, and achieve more. You scroll through endless hacks on how to optimize your time, but none of them actually cure that deep, bone-weary fatigue settling into your soul. You think sleeping in on a Saturday is enough, but you wake up just as drained. I've watched brilliant people completely burn out because they treat rest as a reward for hard work, rather than the foundation of it. But when you look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 3, the creator of the universe didn't just stop working. He blessed the seventh day and made it holy. If you keep ignoring the Sabbath, you will break. You're trading your peace, your relationships, and your very life for a hustle that will never love you back. It will destroy you. We're trapped in a culture that glorifies the grind. You open your phone and someone is always bragging about their 80-hour work week. They call it dedication. But honestly, it's an addiction. We're terrified of stopping. We think if we pause for even one day, the whole world will collapse around us. We think our bills won't get paid. We think everything we built will just fall apart. We're acting like we hold the universe together. I see people dragging their laptops on family vacations. I see parents checking emails under the table during dinner. We're physically present, but mentally miles away. And we wonder why our relationships are fracturing and our minds feel totally broken. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 8, the instruction is crystal clear. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. Notice, it doesn't say, try to squeeze in a nap if your inbox is finally empty. It's a strict boundary, a hard stop. God demanded it. He knew we'd wire ourselves to death if he didn't forcefully intervene. True Sabbath isn't just lying on the couch scrolling through feeds while dreading Monday morning. It's a complete intentional detachment from the economy of production. It's a bold declaration that your worth isn't tied to your output. When you actually stop, when you put down the tools of your trade for a full 24 hours, you realize something completely radical. The world keeps right on spinning without you. You are loved not for what you produce, but simply because you are alive. And yeah, that realization is terrifying at first. You sit in the quiet, and all those suppressed anxieties rush right to the surface. But if you stay there, if you hold your ground in the silence, that panic slowly turns into the deepest peace you've ever felt. So how do you actually do this when your boss expects an answer in 5 minutes? You start with a brutal boundary. Think about your smartphone. It is a glowing portal to every crisis, every demand, and every fake emergency on Earth. Turning it off feels like severing a limb. Do it anyway. Jesus said in Mark chapter 2, verse 27, "The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath." It is a lifeline, not a prison sentence. You don't need a theology degree to rest. You just need courage. Pick a 24-hour block. Maybe it begins at sundown on Friday. You shut the laptop. You put the phone in a drawer. You light a candle. You eat a meal you actually taste instead of scarfing it down over a steering wheel. You look your friends or your family in the eyes. The next morning, do not check the news. Do not look at your bank account. Go outside. Feel the sun on your face. Walk slowly. Sleep until your body wakes you up naturally. Read something that feeds your soul. People tell me they can't afford to take a full day off. I look at their shattered nerves and I tell them they can't afford not to. The work will be there on Monday. It always is. But the energy and the clarity you bring to that work, that completely transforms. You go from operating out of a massive deficit to operating out of genuine overflow. You stop bleeding out your life force for an economy that would replace you tomorrow. Reclaim your life. When you make this a weekly habit, everything shifts. At first, it feels like a massive chore. You twitch. You reach for your empty pocket every 5 minutes just looking for a hit of digital dopamine. But you have to push through that withdrawal. Month after month of dedicated rest literally rewires your nervous system. You stop viewing people as obstacles in your way. You start seeing them as actual human beings. Listen to the invitation in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That isn't just a nice thought. It is a rescue mission for a drowning world. When you take the Sabbath seriously, your creativity completely explodes. Why? Because your mind finally has the empty space required to dream again. You aren't living in constant panic-driven survival mode. That chronic low-grade anxiety that used to be your daily baseline just evaporates. You become a better partner. You become a more present parent. You actually have patience when your kid spills their juice all over the kitchen floor. You don't snap, you smile, because your emotional cup is completely full. And here is the ultimate irony. You actually get more done in 6 days out of a place of deep rest than you ever did grinding for 7 days straight. You become entirely immune to the frantic pace of modern culture. They can't break you anymore. You have finally tapped into the secret rhythm of the universe. Think about where this practice actually comes from. In Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 15, the command to rest is tied directly to freedom. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand. We don't build pyramids out of mud and straw anymore. We build them out of spreadsheets and quarterly margins and endless notifications. But the underlying slavery feels exactly the same. When you refuse to stop working, you're basically declaring that the modern economy is your absolute master. You're handing your freedom right back to a system designed to use you up and throw you away. The Sabbath is the most profound act of rebellion you can possibly commit in the 21st century. Every single time you turn off that screen and choose to just sit in the quiet, you're staging a personal riot against the hustle. You're looking the entire demanding world right in the eye and saying, "You do not own me." It's a total identity shift. You stop being a machine measured by output, and you finally become a human being. It takes brutal discipline at first. The culture will scream at you to get back on the hamster wheel. Your own internal insecurity will whisper that you're falling behind your peers. Let them whisper. Just breathe. Your shoulders will finally drop. Your jaw will unclench. The peace you find in that quiet space is the only thing that will actually save your mind. So the choice is entirely yours. You can keep running yourself into the absolute ground, or you can draw a line in the sand and take your life back. True rest changes everything. It heals your mind and it restores your soul. If you're ready to stage your own rebellion this weekend, hit that subscribe button to join a community of people who refuse to live burned out. And drop a comment right now telling me the exact day you're claiming for your Sabbath. I want to read every single one. Take a deep breath, stop rushing, and go find your peace.